Hi guys, welcome to a presentation of Dockware Contribute. I'm gonna show you how to run and modify Sftp 6 using Dockware and also create a new pull request on GitHub. Good, so let's open our documentation on our website and head over to the contribution section where we learn how to set up our environment. If you're not familiar with running Docker containers, simply go back to the top section of our documentation and learn more about it. Otherwise, go to the Start Docker section and use our Docker Compose template. That one already comes with the correct image, along with all exposed ports that you might need to develop Sftp 6. Now go and run your containers in detached mode, and you probably want to see if Sftp is already ready, which is usually just after a few seconds. Now, see if it all works. We open Storefront, Administration, Miner, Mail Catcher. We have our Sftp, we have our administration. Do we have a working ad miner? Yeah, seems like. Can we connect to Sftp? Of course, and we have a mail catcher. Okay, now onto our feature. As you can see, the URLs are not really lowercase, so as I would expect them to be. So we want to change the default behavior of Sftp 6 to have only lowercase URLs. Now that we have everything up and running, we actually want to start coding. So the next thing would be to download the whole source code to our local host. And we do this by creating a new source folder and use docker cp to download everything in that particular folder. Just after a few seconds, that source folder is ready and I'm gonna open it in PHP Storm. There are only a few things left that we need to develop Sftp 6. So the first thing I would really recommend is enabling the Symfony plugin. Next thing would be to create a new Sftp upload. So go over to deployment, create a new one for Docker. Host would be localhost. Port is already 22. We have our default credentials. As you can see, the doc root is var www.html and our mapping is just a slash. And so we're ready. Your remote browser should now show the contents of your Docker container. And if you have PHP Storm like I do, you probably want to enable the automatic upload too. And that's it. As we say, just after a few minutes, we're ready to develop Sftp 6 with Dockware. So let's see if it really works. With the Sftp GitHub version, you actually develop in the platform folder, which is already symlinked to the vendor folder of your Symfony project. Let's head over to any PHP file that is hopefully used everywhere. I think the storefront PHP file might be a good one. So let me just add a die here, do an automatic upload. And here we go. Awesome. So we just did our first modification. Doesn't make really sense, but at least it works. If you'd like to do a pull request for your modification, you need to have a fork on GitHub. So let's go to the Sftp platform repository on GitHub and fork that repository. Let me just sign in here with my account and keep in mind that I do already have a fork for Sftp platform. Now we want to add that fork to our local repository to be able to push our changes to that fork. We navigate to the platform folder and copy and paste our remote adding command to our terminal, switch over to our actual username, and modify the name of our remote to match our username for better identification. For this demonstration, I do now add both repositories to shop and the platform repository to Git Tower. That is a UI-based Git client. Now let me open the platform repository and see if my fork had been successfully added. Now we see we are 105 commits behind. That is the case because Sftp and the community is doing quite a lot these days. So I would really recommend pulling both repositories, platform and the shop before creating a new feature. Keep in mind, you can also read that and more in our documentation on the website. Now let's create a new feature branch for a new feature, and I totally recommend doing that for every single thing you're about to start in Shopware 6 or any other project. Let's also publish our new feature branch to our fork so that we know that the tracking is correct in the end. Whenever you update your repositories, you have to re-upload the changes. This can either be a simple Sftp upload or just upload the complete source. And for this, there are 3 simple commands you can use. The first one is to remove everything that is currently inside your container. The second one is a docker copy command that uploads everything as fast as possible. And the third one is to fix some permissions for the Apache user. We actually recommend this one, not only if you pull new commits, but also if you switch branches, because that one ensures that you have a consistent version of Shopware inside your containers. Okay, so now let me connect into my container, because we are or have been 105 commits behind, which means there are chances that things have changed a lot. And in that case, the best thing for consistency is to install everything again using the psh commands. And this is not only if you use dockware, it's good whenever you have a lot of changes that happened. Good, so finished. All right, so our product is missing, but that one's okay because we have new data and the other one is simply gone. The rest is fine, so we just continue with our actual feature that we want to do in this video. And for this, we have to look up where the problem relies. So let me just log in one more time and let's open the search engine optimization area. Here you can see that it's not lowercase in here, it's a Twig template which is stored inside the database. So we could just do a pipe and add the lowercase functionality from Twig, which seems to work, at least in the preview. Alright, so let's try to find that one inside our Shopware source code. Let me just close this one and here we go. We have a constant default template where we just try to add the lowercase functionality of Twig, but that's probably not enough. As I've mentioned earlier, this one should be stored in the database, so I guess there's a migration, and there we have it. It's an insert command, and in my use case, I want to do a new migration with an update command to fix any existing versions that may have been already installed. So let's do a new database migration file. Let's just give it a name. And as soon as it has been generated, we'll get the directory on our remote host. So we use our browser. Should be in source, core, framework, migrations. No, probably it was in, migration. There we go. That's the list. Our new file should be here in the bottom. We just download it. Great, so let's just find our local file and modify it. We just copy the insert command. Probably gonna use it for our update. So just before starting to write our update command, let me just verify it in our database. I use SQL Pro as my client software, so we're just gonna open the CO URL template table, and then we have our Twig template, and we have our route name, which is going to be used as the identifier that we need. So let's modify our command, switch over from insert to update. Now throw away everything that we might not need. Just let me keep the route name. And what we're gonna do is we simply update our template text, and as identifier, as already mentioned, we use the name of the route. Good, so let's finish this one and import your classes, and we should be fine. So I would say let's give it a try. Execute our migrations. Don't forget the all parameter. And if it works, we have one executed migration, which means, yeah, it's up to date. And if we just reload our administration, we should also see the lower case version in our preview and in our Twig template. Before you create your pull request, please keep in mind to test everything, run unit tests, and ensure that it's all working as expected. So we go ahead and create our pull request. Let me just do my new commit and push that one to my fork. Now just open GitHub, open the Shopware platform page, and there should be a new pull request that has been detected by GitHub from your fork. Simply click on compare pull request, and it's time to describe why you need the changes, what you do, and in the end, it's up to Shopware.